All right, so as you can see from the picture, it didn't much matter whether I brushed or rolled, which is good news. It means you can do whatever you want and come up with good results. All right, so I've put the inked brick in one of my template squares that I've drawn out, and I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to line my paper up with the paper below. It helps if your template is exactly the same size as your paper that you're going to be printing on. And then I'm just going to gently lay it down, trying not to move it. Maybe you use your hand to print, maybe you have a Baren to. Technical difficulties. My camera moved, you may notice a slightly different angle. So I'm just hand printing because the angle, the levels of the brick are different, and it's easy for me to get in and get to the words. All right. You can take a peek and keep rubbing. Here's my first print. I'm not mad at it. I want it to be a little sparse because I'm going to do stuff on top. All right, so I'm going to check back in when I've made a few more prints. All right, so I'm approaching the end of my prints. And one thing I want to mention is that when you're doing this, you should label. You know, I have two sheets, so I have my printer sheet to keep the back, so that when I'm rubbing on, as you can see, I've got some ink on my hands and transferred. I'm not transferring it to the back of the print, but you should label it so you know which side to lay down, because you think you're going to keep track of it, and then in the end, it gets filled up and you forget. Anyway, so I've got my painted brick down in one of the last spots. Again, I'm lining it up. Gently putting down. And to complete there's that print. Move this over. I'm going to pick up my brick. I'm marking the squares that I've already printed with X's so I don't forget. And I'm going to take the area that I didn't print and I'm going to use that here. I'm already inked up. I'm ready to go. I have a little something just to keep the brick relatively level. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want it, you definitely don't want it falling off the table onto your foot. All right. It also conveniently lines up with the corners of your tile and brick. So if you've got this big print and it's hard to kind of control, you can use that as a guide. That's just my herringbone tips and tricks. For some of you who have not met me before or maybe don't know me that well, I used to be a bricklayer. And this is why I use a lot of bricks and I know things about herringbone layout, all that ridiculousness. Look at that. Damn near perfect. All right, last one. You know, I had thought about turning the brick upside down and putting some leaves or something, and having a little difference, but in the end I decided I just wanted to keep my pattern going, and I can print over. Also, I can do this all over again, since I have the template, and I have the brick, and I have the method. It's not that hard. All right, here we are. It's pretty nice. I got off a little bit here, but if I hadn't pointed out, you probably wouldn't have noticed. Pattern printing.